station for county seniors on Eastlink Community TV. My name is Debbie MacDonald Moynes, and I'm your host. I'm also producer of the show and executive director of the Prince Edward County Community Care for Seniors Association. Our technical help today is by Marjorie Villeneuve. Thanks to Marjorie for all the work she's doing to bring this TV show to you. And today our guest is Laura McGugan, and Laura's going to give us an update on what's happening at community care. Things seem to change on a daily basis sometimes. So Laura, let's first start talking about reassurance calls for seniors in our community. Can you give us a bit of an overview on what community care is doing?
Since the beginning of the pandemic, Debbie, we have been making reassurance calls to all of our clients. We've been calling over 1,900 clients, the past couple of months. We have a dedicated group of volunteers, 25 to be exact, who are making these calls. And then we also have, within that group of 25 volunteers, some of them are making phone calls to clients 3 to 4 times a week that have requested this service. And it's just been great how it's been working out.
So how does a person sign up? Everybody's receiving the regular calls, the 1,900 people. But if a person wants to receive a call 3 or 4 times a week, how do they sign up for that, Laura?
All they have to do is call our office, leave a detailed message that they would like to receive reassurance calls 3 to 4 times a week, and we will, one of the coordinators will get in touch with them and let them know when the phone calls would be starting, and then of course we assign them to one of our volunteers who are doing those calls.
Yes, and we've also received referrals from family caregivers in the community who were concerned about their older person in their family, haven't we?
Yes, caregivers, of course, have been calling in for reassurance calls and a variety of the other programs we are providing. Of course, for some, when they don't live within the community, it's just an extra peace of mind, gives them an extra peace of mind that they are, their loved one is safe, that they know someone is checking on them, and of course, we would know what to do if something were to happen. Also, it just is also great for the caregivers who live locally, knowing that because they do have to practice the physical distancing, that someone is checking in. And I think, as we know, even when I call family, there's not much new to report. So having a different voice, a different person to talk to can be really beneficial to the client, just to hear someone friendly but new at the same time.
Now, these are not just short phone calls, are they, to some of the people who are signed up for the 3 or 4 times a week? The volunteers engage with the people and talk to them.
Oh yes, the volunteers want to, and sometimes they'll be talking on the phone for 20 minutes to an hour. Just really depends on the day, what the client and volunteer want to talk about or have been talking about. I think they're all learning very interesting things through this about each other and just even the community. So it's been really wonderful. And the volunteers, I think it's important for clients, caregivers to know, really do want to make these calls. It makes them feel good as well. It makes the client feel good, and it makes the volunteer feel good too.
It really does make the volunteer feel good. They know they're contributing, they're doing something useful to other people. And so it's a win-win in every way that we look at this program, isn't it, Laura?
It is, and the volunteers are generally doing something for us anyways. They may be an office reception volunteer, and obviously with the office being closed, they don't have that ability to work from home the way we do. So making the phone calls this way is a wonderful way for them to continue volunteering and feel they're contributing to the community, especially during these times.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Laura, do you have a story you could share that you've heard from the volunteers and clients?
I think from the volunteers have just been amazed of how families have rallied to help their loved ones, and it's just really given them inspiration to continue the calls and realize what a great community we do live in. And from the clients, I do remember one client leaving a message calling in to say he always knew that Community Care for Seniors was such a caring agency that had friendly staff, friendly volunteers, and during this pandemic, while getting phone calls, it just has really firmed that up for him that we're definitely looking out for our clients and making sure that they have everything that they need to maintain their independence and be well and to get through these difficult times.
These are difficult times to get through. And Community Care has other programs. Let's just talk about the grocery program. I know that the people that are receiving the phone calls know about these programs because the volunteers are kept up to date on what's available and the changes that are made. But can you just go over quickly the grocery program so that people who are watching and aren't aware of that can know what they can do to get help with it?
So the grocery delivery program was something that was set up very thoughtfully as the pandemic began. We realized that people who had decided to self-isolate were going to have a challenge getting their groceries. And so we set up this program, and now clients can call into the office. They can order their groceries and pay for them, and then we can have them delivered right to their house. We have volunteers who are going to the different grocery stores to do the curbside pickup and bring them right to their door.
And that's a free program for seniors that want to participate in it.
It is. It is free delivery.
It's really quite an easy program, isn't it, for people to participate in?
It is, and if you're someone who doesn't have access to a computer, not able to maybe email your order or put it online, we do have volunteers that we can reach out to and match a client up with so that they can place the order online for them and still receive the groceries at home. And it's a quick turnaround too. So it's been great. Lots of people taking advantage of this, and yeah, great response so far.
Mm-hmm. We've also just recently added back into the service offering the home help and homemaking and home maintenance program. Just you could give us a bit of an update on that too.
Yes, we're working with our brokered workers to make sure that the workers and clients will be safe. We do offer home maintenance for outside work, raking leaves, cutting grass, gardening, and then of course we do have the homemaking program, which includes house cleaning, laundry, those type of things. And we're just getting those back up and running, and clients can call in to get more information, and we'll certainly set them up and get some help for them.
Yes, and so there's physical distancing required for all of those programs, but so people do need to call the office and get the details on the new way of doing things. Income tax is back on the table now too, isn't it, Laura? CRA changed the deadline to June the 1st, so people can still get their income tax done at Community Care.
Yes, again, call the office. We do have some questions that we have to ask, and we will certainly return your call. We do have a different way of doing it. Again, the physical distancing plays a big role, but we are able to offer the income tax program, which is great because I know a lot of clients have been concerned about that. That was actually one of the programs they were asking our volunteers about when they did call, is when can they get their income tax done, and now they can. So just give the office a call and we can arrange for you to get those done and get them to the office, and we'll make sure it's done in a timely manner.
Another thing we're getting calls about on a regular basis is the foot care clinics. People are very anxious to have their foot care appointment, aren't they?
They are, and unfortunately right now that's not one of the programs we are able to open at this time. It is still on hold, but we will be calling once we know when we can and how we'll be able to make sure everybody is safe when they are getting their feet done. You will be getting a call for your appointments. But yes, we do, the volunteers, the office, we get a lot of phone calls about foot care.
Yes, And also Community Care's Thrift Shop. It's a thriving retail operation on the main street of Picton at 153 Main Street. And very recently, the provincial government made it possible for retail operations to open. So how are things going with Community Care's Thrift Shop?
Wonderful. Lots of changes. When you do venture in, you will see lots of changes, but obviously that's wonderful because that is what's going to keep our volunteers and customers safe. We do have a crew of volunteers right now just preparing the shop, getting things ready to welcome back customers. We're certainly looking forward to that day, and that should be very, very soon. And we're very excited. Lots of great changes. It will be safe. We've got a plastic sheet covering the cash area. There'll be physical distancing markers when you're lined up and direction arrows so you can follow the flow of the store the best way to make sure that you're able to maintain 6 feet between customers and also volunteers. And even the volunteers will be following the physical distancing requirements. We just want it to be safe for everybody coming into the store, whether it is as a customer or a volunteer. And we still also want to provide that wonderful experience as a volunteer for those going in.
Yes, the other people that need to be safe are the donors. And we have always had some wonderful donors in this community who would give things to Community Care Thrift Shop. I understand that's going to change too. They'll have to make an appointment.
Yes, we won't be accepting donations at the shop. And again, that has to do with safety for our volunteers. And also, we do have to store any donations for up to 72 hours. So we do have another place that will be accepting donations, and more information will come about that. But you will, donors will be asked to make an appointment just so we can make sure they're safe. The volunteers accepting the donations are safe as well. And then we can also make sure the products going into the thrift shop have had the time, the 72 hours to not be touched before they are sorted by volunteers and put it onto the shelves.
Yes, so our technical person, Marjorie, will put up the phone number for the office, the website address, the Facebook page, and we put all the updated information in all of those places so people know what's going on at Community Care and what's available. Thank you, Laura, very much for coming and talking to us today, telling us about the programs and services available from Community Care. And we invite people to call the office, leave a detailed message. Staff are working from home offices. And so thank you, Laura, from visiting us from your home office. And I'll sign off from my home office here on Greenpoint. Thanks, everybody.